He thought I'd cry. He thought I'd cry. He thought I'd beg. He thought walking away from me would ruin me. What he didn't know was that the day he left, he handed me freedom disguised as heartbreak. So no, this isn't a story about a woman who lost her husband. It's a story about a man who lost his control. My name's Olivia, and this is how my ex-husband learned that I don't chase, I replace. Stick around, because by the end of this story, you'll understand exactly why he wishes he'd never underestimated me. So if you've ever been left, lied to, or made to feel small, remember this. You don't beg for closure. You build it. You don't wait for their regret. You let them watch your glow up. My revenge wasn't loud. It was successful. And if stories like this remind you how strong you really are, hit subscribe, because I've got more true stories that prove one thing. They thought they broke us, but really they built something unstoppable. When I met Daniel, he was everything I thought I ever wanted. Smooth voice, nice watch, knew how to make a room look at him. He called me his piece. Turns out, what he really wanted was control. I was 27, working 2 jobs, trying to finish grad school. He was older, stable, established. My mom said, "He's a good man, Olivia. Don't lose this one." So I didn't. I built my whole life around him, his routines, his friends, his comfort. And little by little, I disappeared. It starts small, right? Don't wear that, baby. It's just too short. Maybe don't go out with her. She doesn't really support us. I thought he was being protective. But he was just shrinking my world. The signs were there. Oh, they were there. Phone always face down. Late nights. The smell of perfume that wasn't mine. But I kept telling myself I was crazy. Because when you love someone who manipulates you, they teach you to doubt your own mind. Then one night I was folding laundry and his laptop dinged. It was open on the counter. Curiosity turned my head before I could stop it. Notification. I can't wait until she's out of the picture. My stomach dropped. I froze. And right then, he walked out of the shower. I said nothing. I just turned the screen toward him. He looked at me, towel around his waist, smirk on his face, and said, "Finally, I was wondering when you'd figure it out." No apology, no guilt, just arrogance. That smirk broke something in me, but not what he thought. It wasn't my heart, it was my obedience. 2 weeks later, he filed for divorce. Him, not me. He wanted control of the story. He even told me, "I'm doing you a favor. You can't keep up with my lifestyle anyway." The man thought his ego was a lifestyle. He cut me off financially, left me scrambling. I had to move back into a 1-bedroom apartment and start from zero. My friends told me to beg for help, to make him pay. But here's the thing. Beggars don't win revenge stories. So I kept quiet. Took a 9-to-5 job below my degree just to stay afloat. I cried the first week, then the second. But by the third, my tears turned into plans. I started working out. Small steps. 10 minutes on the treadmill became 30. Therapy taught me to remember the sound of my own voice again. I stopped saying, "I'm sorry," when I hadn't done anything wrong. And one night, I opened a notebook, the one I used to scribble business ideas in, and thought, what if I just tried? The business Daniel said would never make real money. Yeah, that one. I launched it quietly, no big announcement. Just me, my laptop, and the determination of a woman underestimated once too many times. A year later, it was thriving. My first corporate client, a company Daniel had once tried and failed to sign. That deal? My quiet, subtle revenge. Success so radiant it burned him without me even looking his way. Well, years later, fate decided to have some fun. I walked into a charity gala, new dress, new life, new peace. And guess who was there? Daniel. He looked tired, like life had finally stopped bending to his rules. He saw me. He hesitated, then approached. "Wow," he said. "You look different." I smiled. "Yes," I said. "Freedom suits me." His eyes flickered. Confusion, curiosity, jealousy. Then he asked, "So you're doing well?" I said, "Thriving, actually." He forced a laugh. Guess the divorce worked out for both of us. I leaned in, soft, calm, surgical. "Oh, Daniel, it worked out for me. You're just watching." Thought that would be the end of it. But life, she has a sense of humor. A few months later, my company gets a major investment offer. Guess who's listed as one of the partner firms? Daniels, the man who left me broken. Now had to read my name at the top of his approval papers. He tried reaching out, called, emailed my assistant, asking if we could catch up. I didn't respond. My silence was louder than any revenge plot I could ever plan. Because it wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about rebirth. So no, I didn't beg. I didn't break. And I didn't wait for karma. I became karma. If someone made you feel like you'd be nothing without them, watch me. Because your comeback is loading even if you don't see it yet. The sweetest revenge isn't their regret, it's your peace. I thought that was the end. I mean, we'd both moved on, at least that's what I told myself. But some men, they don't move on. They orbit, circling like satellites, waiting to see if your glow dims. It started subtle. A congratulations comment under a LinkedIn post. Then a casual hope you're well email. Then, one night, I get a text. "I miss talking to you." You ever get a message that makes you both laugh and roll your eyes at the same time? That was it. I sat there staring at my phone, realizing he was still testing me, still hoping I'd slip into the old version of myself. The one who made excuses, who wanted to please him. But she doesn't live here anymore. So I didn't respond. Instead, I screenshotted it, sent it to my best friend, and said, "Look who's lost the plot." But I'll be real with you. Ignoring him felt powerful at first, until the loneliness I thought I'd outgrown whispered again. You see, healing isn't a straight line. Sometimes your past knocks, and even if you don't open the door, your heart still looks through the peephole. So I did something brave, and a little stupid. I agreed to meet him, just once. Coffee, public place, no expectations. Not to get him back, but maybe to prove to myself that I could face him and feel nothing. He walked in looking smaller, not in size, but in presence. The power he used to hold over me, gone. He said, "You look amazing." I said, "I know." He talked for 20 minutes straight, mostly about how hard life's been. The business wasn't doing well. The new girlfriend, gone. Money, tight. And I realized this wasn't closure. This was karma asking if I wanted dessert. I sipped my coffee and said, "Daniel, you taught me something, you know." He smiled, relieved. "Oh yeah? What's that?" I leaned forward. "You taught me to stop loving potential, because potential never respected me back." After that, I left cash for my latte and walked out. No tears, no anger, just peace. That same month, my company hit a milestone we'd been chasing for years. I hired 10 new employees, all women starting over in their own ways. And I made a silent promise to myself. If I ever lead something powerful, it won't be built on someone else's brokenness. I started mentoring other women who'd lost everything in divorces, connecting them with financial coaches, lawyers, and therapists, turning my pain into other people's power. Funny how the things that were meant to destroy us become the blueprint for someone else's survival. I was the woman I used to pray I'd become. 6 months later, my company won a statewide award for innovation. There I was, standing on stage, holding a trophy, cameras flashing, lights in my eyes. And then I saw him, Daniel, in the audience. He had that same expression, the one I saw when I showed him the laptop message years ago. Shock, panic, regret. Except this time I wasn't crying. I was shining. I thanked the audience, took my bow, and when I stepped off the stage, I walked right past him. He whispered, "I'm proud of you." I nodded. "You should be. You were the lesson." It's funny. People still ask me if I ever forgave him. The truth? Yes. But forgiveness wasn't for him. It was for me. Because carrying revenge forever is just letting them live rent-free in your head. My real revenge was becoming everything he said I couldn't, without needing him to see it. Maybe you're watching this right now with your own Daniel in your past. Maybe you're still in that one-bedroom apartment, rewriting your story from scratch. Trust me, someday you'll look back and say, that's where I stopped surviving and started rising. So don't you dare beg. Don't chase. Don't crumble. Build. Glow. And when they finally see the life you created after they left, smile, because your silence is the speech they'll never forget. And if you love real stories about comebacks, karma, and impossible strength, subscribe now, because I've got more tales that'll remind you. We don't just survive heartbreak, we evolve from it.